Emily, and I am the Health Sciences Program Coordinator. Welcome to our Physical Therapist Assistant Lab. My job as the Health Sciences Program Coordinator is to work with you students on getting your prerequisites completed and to become eligible to apply to our PTA program. Here we have our Program Director for the Physical Therapist Assistant Program, Dr. Swearingen, and our Clinical Coordinator, Dr. Santana. During this time, they're going to talk about what to expect from our PTA program, lectures, lab, and a little information about our clinic sites.
All right, I'll get started. And first, I would like to begin talking about what a physical therapist assistant does for the profession. When you walk into any physical therapy clinic, you might see multiple people walking around. We have physical therapists, physical therapist assistants or PTAs, and then also physical therapist aides. Okay, the main difference between a PT aide and a PTA or physical therapist assistant is the level of skill and training, which is what you would receive here at TCL. The physical therapist assistant works under the direction and supervision of a licensed physical therapist. And the main difference being that physical therapist will be the one to do the initial visit, the evaluation and assessment of a patient, work with them to set goals and create a plan of care. And then after that point, a physical therapist assistant is fully trained to help carry out that plan of care as a teammate with that physical therapist. PTAs can work in multiple settings, such as hospitals, outpatient clinics, home health facilities, and long-term care. The average salary in the state of South Carolina for a PTA is around $55,000 a year, and the outlook for the career is actually doing quite well, considering we have an aging group of baby boomers who are getting older and needing more health care, so the need for physical therapy and physical therapist assistance will be there in the future. Most people get into this profession. I would say the number one thing that we hear is it's for people who like to help other people or have that love social interaction, love interacting with other people and caring for them. And one of the other things we hear quite often is that it's not sitting behind a desk for 8 hours a day, that it's somewhat more active. And then there are other people who use this as a stepping stone. They may get their associates as a PTA, and then they may go on to a DPT or a Doctor of Physical Therapy program, or they may go on to some other health-related field. Once accepted into the program, I want to give you a little bit about what to expect in the program. It's a 2-year, 5-semester program with 69 total credits. You'll study things like the pathophysiology of illness and injury, anatomy, kinesiology, therapeutic exercise, neuro rehab, modalities, which are all the machines you see around the lab here. And we even have some other helpful topics such as communications for a healthcare professional and our professional prep class, which is designed to not only help you pass your board exam, but also be prepared for the working world. And this talks about things such as resume writing and interview skills. Throughout the program, all of these courses are taught in several different ways. Mostly, we have our typical lectures and PowerPoints, but we try to include things in there such as group activities, case studies where we study how this applies to an actual patient. And most of the classes we have also have a lab component where we're not only going to learn what the information is you need to know, but we're going to learn how to apply it. So we're going to practice these skills hands-on with the instructors in the lab, being able to correct technique and fine-tune your skills as a professional. The last part of our education is the clinical component, and I will let our clinical coordinator, Dr. Santana, take care of that one.
As the clinical coordinator, my job is to pair students with clinical instructors at the various local clinic sites. The students go out on 3 rotations, the first being largely observational and part-time. That takes place in the summer of your first year. And then the last 2 clinicals take place in the spring of the second year. And those are both full-time, Monday through Friday, 40-hour-a-week clinics. Ideally, each student will get to experience an inpatient rotation, an outpatient rotation, and then a specialty setting if they choose, such as pediatrics, or there's a local lymphedema clinic, or sports rehab. So that's a choice. And then during those clinical rotations, students shadow PT at both inpatient and outpatient settings. The inpatient settings include sites where the patients live there or they're there for a time being, such as hospitals, nursing homes, skilled nursing facilities, inpatient rehabs, and then outpatient sites include where the patient walks into you. So that would be like your local sport or orthopedic physical therapy clinic. During these rotations, students have access to patients and gain valuable hands-on experience in the field, and then the clinical rotations allow for patient interaction, the ability to practice with supervision from a professional, and to have real-life testing scenarios that we cannot achieve in the classroom.
So thank you, Dr. Swearingen and Dr. Santana, for the information about the Physical Therapist Assistant Program. I do want to touch upon about our application process, since this is a selected admissions program, which means if you apply to TCL, the school itself, and get accepted, that does not mean that you have been accepted into the Physical Therapist Assistant Program. It is a separate application that happens once a year, every spring for a fall start. And to mirror what Dr. Swearingen said, it is a 2-year, 5-semester program upon acceptance. We accept 16 students into our program. We do have a weighted admission system, which means we use your prerequisite classes, which help you gain points on your application. So the more prerequisite classes you have completed, with the higher the grades, the more points you will earn, which makes your application more competitive. Information for our applications are found on our Health Sciences website under the Physical Therapist Assistant Program, or you're more than welcome to call the Health Sciences Department phone number or send us an email. But we want to finally thank you for watching this video and your interest in our Physical Therapist Assistant Program. Further questions, let us know. We're always here to help. You can email any of us at any time. Our contact information is on the website. We encourage you to join our program to work on the prerequisites, and thank you again for watching.
All right, everybody's got their space, their arm width apart. We're not going to socially distancing. All right, so we're going to teach a squat today, and a couple key things that are important for sit-up. We want to have our feet shoulder width apart, and our toes slightly pointing out, just slightly, okay? You're going to have the weight should be in the back of your heels, okay? So you should be able to kind of lift your toes up lightly if you need. And when we squat, most people want to bring their knees out and forward. That's not how we want to squat. Okay, we want to emphasize the butt sitting back like you're sitting back in a chair. Reach out to squat down, and then fire to stand back up. So let's try that now. Sit the butt back, yep, and up. All right, one more time. Good, you should feel the weight staying in the back of your heels. Good. The more we stay back on our heels, the more the forces are normalized through the knee. The more we come forward onto our toes, or our heels lift up, the more pressure we'll put in the knee, and we're going to make that knee pain even worse. All right, so we're working on passive range of motion of the shoulder. So Paul here is not going to be moving his shoulder. I, as the therapist, am going to move his shoulder around. So we want him to be as relaxed as possible, and we really need to. We got to imagine that this patient is in pain, so we want them to be as relaxed as possible. Okay, so I got to have him close to my body, supported well. And as we move him up into flexion, I want to move with this shoulder to support it up till the point where I feel an infeel, and then coming back down. Okay? When people are in pain, they might guard up, so we might have to bring them back down and kind of give them a light oscillation to relax, bend that elbow back and forth. And we're going to do this for about 5 to 10 reps in each direction. Again, remember, just as it is important to position the patient appropriately, it's just as important that your feet are wide, that your body is moving through your hips, not bending your back, so you don't go home with a sore back and have to need PT yourself. All right, let's practice that.
Definitely make sure to get all your prerequisites done and out of the way before you start the program. It'll also help you get into the program by having all that done. Make sure to research some good study tips. That is key. Make sure to figure out time management. If you're working part-time, try and make sure to find that balance It is very important.
The biggest challenge for me is being a full-time dad, working and also working full-time. So the way I overcame that is finding time and finding my moments to study. So whether it's after my child goes to bed, or is it recording lectures so that I can re-listen to the lectures while I'm driving to work or to class, so that I do have enough time to study and prepare for my courses.
I want to become a physical therapist assistant to really be on the rehab side of things and help people get better and back to their sport.
I'm looking forward to putting my skills to use. The Low Country is a very active community. People have active lifestyles for a really long time, and I'm just looking forward to helping people maintain that lifestyle.